Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Residents in the territory are rediscovering the history of the Virgin Islands and their ancestry. Many individuals may find that their relatives were enslaved in the Virgin Islands and some are seeking reparation. One historian has opened dialogue on the possibility of citizenship rights in Denmark. Denmark has a universal health care system in which citizens received mostly free medical care. The country also provides higher education to its citizens for free, and one recent article implores that reparations are due to Virgin Islanders. Stephanie Brown reports.
The Virgin Islands observes its centennial of the 1970 transfer of the Danish West Indies to the powers of the United States in late of March of this year. The centennial observance opened dialogue on statehood, colonization, reparation, and self-identity in the territory. Activist Shelley Moorhead had been for a long time seeking reparations and an apology from Denmark for the descendants of enslaved Africans in the Danish West Indies, and while attending the centennial activities, Danish Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen did not give a formal apology, but recognized that Denmark had played a part in the suffering and enslavement of the ancestors of many Virgin Islanders. In a commentary article, former Senator Wayne James stated that Virgin Islanders that can trace their ancestry back to the Danish era should be entitled to Danish citizenship as part of Denmark's readdressing of past wrongs. A petition has already been circulating online and has accumulated signatures. Dual citizenship is not a far-fetched idea for many. In fact, there are several countries that allow the right, which include Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Australia, Brazil, Canada, and Barbados.
Yeah, so because I come from a multi-Caribbean background, my father's from Barbados and my mother's from Trinidad and Tobago, so I use the two passports when I was traveling back and forth to kind of avoid the scrutiny of being also a U.S. citizen and working and, and studying in Cuba, basically.
Although the notion of dual citizenship is appealing, some residents feel that Wayne James is using this platform as a smokescreen to elude from his criminal charges, which alleges that he has defrauded the local government out of tens of thousands of dollars. For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Now, in the article, Wayne James notes that dual citizenship may create competing interests for the two nations when attempting to assist nationals who encounter diplomatic or legal problems abroad. And dual citizenship can create additional residency, military, and sometimes conflicting tax obligations. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Well, last week, Thursday, 3 members of the minority caucus in the 32nd legislature released statements exclaiming that the 32nd legislature had the ability to make decisions on whether or not Kevin Rodriguez could have been seated as a senator or not. According to the VI Code, those 3 senators from St. Thomas, St. John District, they requested legislative legal opinion to determine what action the legislature should take if the Board of Elections does not certify the results of the 2017 special election. Conversely, Myron Jackson, the Senate president, publicly stated that he disagrees with Senator Tregenza Roach, Jeanette Millen-Young, and Dwayne DeGraff. Kevin Rodriguez had motioned for the Third Circuit Court of Appeals to stop the certification of the April 8th elections, but his appeal was denied. And Senator Myron Jackson called for the St. Thomas St. John Board of Elections to certify the April 8th special elections, which Janelle Saru has mathematically won. Well, the Department of Health unveiled 3 out of the 5 new ambulances that were custom-made to fit the terrain of the Virgin Islands. On Friday, the 2 ambulances that were displayed at the ribbon-cutting ceremony went into use directly after the ceremony. St. Thomas health officials spoke on the need of the emergency vehicles, and Senate President pledged for more resources. Here's more.
Issues with some of the maintenance and also vendors that we're able to use to repair some of our fleet under warranty. At times, this has left staff as well as the community very disheartened, very confused, very deflated in terms of our ability as a Department of Health and an agency to respond to their urgent needs. Well, I'm happy to say here today, this fleet are the steps to correct those issues that we've had in the past.
And it is my intent to continue to work on the efforts in providing a new building, a wing to this hospital for the EMTs, I should say, and the necessary work that you need to do.
CARNIVAL Casino celebrated their one-year anniversary this weekend, and to show their appreciation to the public, the casino threw a block party with a live soca and jazz band. Street vendors and patrons filled the streets, and the casino had a raffle and gave away attendees gifts from jewelry stores and restaurants in downtown Christiansted. The general manager also was excited to procure a new contract. Here's more.
We have really contributed a lot to the community. We have, I think the boss mentioned, we have contributed over $60,000 to different charities and different organizations. We've contributed to the St. Croix Majorettes, the VI Little League, and a host of others. So, and we will continue to do that. Of course, the big thing for 2017, we just got, if you followed in the news, we just was awarded the franchise agreement from the government to operate both racetracks, the St. Croix and the St. Thomas horse racetracks. And with that, we are really planning to revitalize the horse racing industry on St. Croix. Similarly to what we're doing down here, the concept here is to revitalize downtown Christiansted.
Well, line department crews were dispatched to isolate service interruptions in several sections of St. Croix. The affected areas included Carambola, Prosperity Ridge, Prospect Hill, Pleasant Valley, Orange Grove, Two Brothers, and Mount Victory. WAP officials say all efforts were made to minimize the duration of the services interruption. Turning to crime reports, on Sunday, April 23rd, police say at approximately 2:19 a.m., citizens called the 911 emergency call center and reported a fight in progress at the Arian's restaurant in the area of Subbase. Shortly thereafter, citizens called and reported multiple shots fired and victims on the ground outside of the restaurant. Here's more from VIPD.
Upon officers' arrival, one gunshot victim was being transported to the Snyder Regional Medical Center via private vehicle, and a second gunshot victim was transported to the Snyder Regional Medical Center via ambulance. One of the gunshot victims was identified as 18-year-old Akil Gregg Jr., who suffered multiple shots about the body. Mr. Gregg was identified by family members after succumbing to his injuries. The second gunshot victim was identified as a 26-year-old who was treated at the Snyder Regional Medical Center for multiple gunshot wounds about his body. The male victim is still currently in stable condition.
Meanwhile, here's an update on the McDonald's robbery incident that left a teenager dead. Police say while the investigation is still ongoing, an autopsy was performed on 17-year-old Mr. Juan de Dios, and it was determined that his cause of death was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The officers involved, though they returned after being fired upon, say they were not responsible for the death of Mr. de Dios. Be sure to count on 2. We will keep you updated. Police also say on April 21st at approximately 11:56 a.m., officers were dispatched to a residence in Old Friedensburg, Frederiksted by the 911 emergency call center in reference to an attempted sexual assault. Here's more from VIPD.
Who stated the suspect grabbed her and dragged her into an abandoned house across the street. He threw her on the ground and began strangling her. The victim said she fought herself free. However, he was able to grab her again, grab her by the hair, by the throat, and continued strangling her. She continued fighting him, and she was able to get free and ran away into her residence. 22-year-old Leroy Simon was located after he fled the area in Estate Glen. On April 21st at about 5:20 p.m., Mr. Leroy Simon Jr. was arrested for attempted murder, assault first degree, and subsequently arrested and charged for kidnapping. His bail was set at $100,000. Unable to post bail, he was remanded to the Golden Grove Detention Center.
Also on April 21st, police say at approximately 11:56 a.m., officers were dispatched to a residence in Old Friedensburg, Frederiksted by the 911 emergency call center in reference to an attempted sexual assault. The victim stated that the suspect grabbed her and dragged her into an abandoned house across the street. He threw her on the ground and began strangling her. The victim said she fought herself free. However, he was able to grab her again, grabbed her by the throat, and continued strangling her. She continued fighting him, and she was able to get free and ran away into the residence. 22-year-old Leroy Simon was arrested. Now, also on April 21st, adult female reported to police that a male acquaintance, Warren Brooks, pictured there, demanded that she have sex with him, and when she refused, he forcibly removed her pants and underwear, held her down forcibly, and attempted to have sex with her. 48-year-old Warren Brooks was arrested and charged with rape first, and no bail was set. He was remanded to the Golden Grove Detention Center pending advice of rights hearing. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers there, we can see the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P all up. The Dow up 260, NASDAQ 73, S&P 500 up 25. Coming up on News 2, we have our Carnival Corner. We have CALYPSO Queen winner, plus highlights from Wang's musical Haven from opening night. All that coming up next. Time for our Carnival Corner. Welcome back. Well, this year the village is named in honor of Wang Harrigan, described by all as a cultural bear. Many headed to the center of attraction, center of carnival activity with 33 booths in Wang's musical Haven. Many were there for the ribbon cutting and opening night. Here's more. Friday, many headed to the Fort Christian parking lot for the anticipated opening. The ribbon was cut, signaling the official opening of Wang's musical Haven.
On behalf of the Virgin Islands Carnival Committee and the wonderful people of the Virgin Islands, Wang, it's my honor to present to you Wang's musical Haven to Wang Harrigan in the naming of the 2017 village in your honor. Congratulations.
Wang Harrigan was born on St. Thomas, August 3, 1959, to Lou and Lillian Ba Harrigan. He is number 9 of 10 children.
He has spent his life in selfless service to others, from the military to education and throughout the community. His dedication and devotion to others goes without question.
He graduated from CAHS in June 1976 and enlisted that same year in the VI National Guard.
While stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, with the 282nd Army Band, he was assigned to the Honor Guard detail as a bugler and became known as Mr. Taft.
Wang used the opportunity to thank everyone.
I would like to thank God, the Almighty, for me being here this evening with the breath of life. I'd like to thank my parents, both of them deceased, but if it wasn't for them, I would not have been here. I would love to especially thank my beautiful wife, Desiree. I love you. My daughter, Janika, please stand. Love you, baby. My son, Kiwan.
It's where you come during lunch to get your lunch. It's where you come in the evening to get your dinner. It's where you come to get your musical entertainment. It's where you come to meet your friends, meet your families that have been away for so long. It's where you just come to mingle and have a good time.
This is my home. This is my musical haven. I welcome each and every one of you. I want you all to be safe. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the music. I love you all. Be safe. Thank you.
Well-deserved honor there for Wang. Congratulations to you. Now, 33 booths are there, but all are spectacular, but we have the winners as listed right there. Best relationship to the theme is booth number 29. Best booth is a second runner-up, booths number 16 and number 8. First runner-up, booth number 7, and winner, booth number 27. Be sure to patronize the booths and congratulate our winners right there. Now, heading out to the village, there's lots of entertainment, as you know, and let's look at the schedule of entertainment for tonight. We have DJ Red Lion, Showtime, and BDJ and Vibes, and then Tuesday we have DJ Cypher, Flambo Combo, Cool Breeze, Shaw, and WCK out of Dominica. Wednesday we have DJ Nature Boy and DJ Black, the ZA1, Marino Castellano, and DJ AK Out Number 1 and Asa Banton. And we will share some more music with you as we head along the week. Now, the CALYPSO Monarch competition was held. Many headed out to the Lionel Roberts Stadium on Saturday night. 9 Calypsonians took to the stage to compete for that crown, won by last year's CALYPSO Monarch Temisha Libert, who is the reigning Caribbean queen. But in the end, she kept that crown, winning the title again this year. Here's more.
5 crowns. So tonight I stand on Nick Friday to sing the way we sing today. There's many road march stars with many fans. On his shoulders is where I stand. V-I-V-I-V-I-V-I, oh. I want you to sing with me. Come on. V-I-V-I-V-I-V-I, V-I-V-I-V-I-V-I, oh.
This time, you better get off your black behind. Not Nikki this time. Let your voice be heard and stop whine. Not Nikki this time. Not this time. Not this time. Not this time. Not Nikki this time. Not me.
The 1,000 jobs we can see. We need a new map. In syntax you want to kill we. We need a new map. You wasting taxpayers' money. We need a new map.
'Cause I won't get no cruise and breakfast. Me selfish and me chop chop. I won't get no guava berry. No mabi or coquito. Don't care about New York City or Washington DC. I say no. The places will never see me. I tell them no. I ain't coming to them no more. Here we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the 65th anniversary of Carnival, the winner for tonight's Calypso show goes to Caribbean Queen! Caribbean Queen!
Congratulations to her. Now, they all did a wonderful job, but let's look at the winners right there. We have Most Humorous, Super T, Most Improved, General Val, Best Political Commentary, John Gotti, Best Social Commentary, Nikki Smith, second runner-up, General Val, first runner-up, Nikki Smith, and of course the winner, Temisha Libert, Caribbean Queen right there, and you can see the points right there. Well, the boat races, longtime participants, they boycotted the boat races on Sunday over what some say are unpaid prize money from past events. However, it did not dampen the spirits of those in attendance. The event was called the Motorsports Day, and this year many had the opportunity to hear from the steel bands as Panorama was held on Veterans Drive. Vendors still showed up, and some say they lost money as most have to pay for a vendor's permit, while the usual crowd of many who would usually line the waterfront did not show up due to hearing news of the boycott, but those in attendance enjoyed themselves. And just a reminder, let's take a look at the administrative leave granted by the governor in order for everyone to participate in the carnival events. St. Thomas St. John District, Wednesday, April 26th from 12 to 5, Thursday, April 27th, which is Juve, from 8 to 5, and Friday, April 28th is a legal holiday. Be sure to go out and enjoy the parades over the weekend. Now, due to the carnival coverage, NEWS2 will not air on Thursday or Friday, but be sure to tune in for a recap of the carnival special as we look back on all the highlights of this year's carnival festivities. Also, be sure to tune in to TV2 for a live coverage of both the children's and adults parades. Well, stick around. Your NEWS2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
our forecast here. We have an area of low pressure off the coast here of the United States, right along the mid-Atlantic coastline, and we have a long frontal boundary that is going to be gradually shifting eastward. And as it does, we're going to see showers becoming more numerous, maybe even some thunderstorms. As we take a look at our current radar, you can see how we've got a couple of spotty showers here around Puerto Rico, and we've seen a few of those across the Virgin Islands as well. Now for tonight, we'll see a shower or two, an overnight low of 77 degrees. And in St. John's for tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms. That system starts to move towards the east, and that is going to increase activity, especially into tomorrow night even. As we take a look at St. Thomas, you'll have showers and thunderstorms with a temperature of 84 degrees. We've got the clouds as well. In St. Croix, 85 degrees with showers and thunderstorms. On the Atlantic side, we have a small craft use caution advisory out there. We have winds out of the southeast at 15 to 20 knots, and waves are 3 to 5 feet, so it's choppy out there. And then we also have caution here for the Caribbean side. Waves also 3 to 5 feet, and we have winds out of the southeast at 15 to 20 knots as that system approaches. Now we will see showers and thunderstorms, I think, will be fairly numerous for Tuesday night into Wednesday. And then we have the spotty showers lingering early on Wednesday. We may see some things starting to clear out by Wednesday night. Thursday and Friday, we get back into our typical trade wind pattern as an area of high pressure settles in to our north, and that is going to bring back the easterly trade. So we'll just have a shower or two brief passing through on Thursday. Friday, the same thing, some sunshine, and there could be a shower passing through with a high of 85, and only a spotty shower as we head into the weekend with a high temperature of 85. Sandy?
Thank you. Time for a News 2 weather picture there by Mia Pimtel, third grader representing St. Croix. Via, thank you for your picture. We see you include some sunshine and overall beautiful conditions, smooth sailing as we head through the rest of the week. Thank you for that. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address right there on the screen. Be sure to include all the info we need. Tune in to see it right here on News 2. Stick around. News 2 Sports comes your way next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. NBA playoff action is in full swing, and when you're hot, you're hot. Game 4, Cavs and Pacers. LeBron looking to close out the first round. Fourth quarter, the score is tied at 100. Thaddeus Young with the tap-in, and the Pacers lead by 2. On the other end, LeBron with the triple. The Cavs are up 1. 11 seconds left. A mad scramble. Paul George misses. And the Cavs win the series in a sweep.
Missed everything. James with the rebound.
Over to Chicago, the Bulls and the Celtics. And the day belonged to Isaiah Thomas. Fourth quarter, Thomas blows by Jimmy Butler. And the Celtics, they win, and to tie the series at 2 games apiece. Sliding on down to Houston, Rockets and the Thunder, Game 4, 21 ticks on the clock, and Steve Adams misses the free throw. He taps it to Westbrook for the 3, bang! The Thunder are now down by 1. But Nene with the hoop and the harm. Rockets win 110-107, and they take a commanding 3-1 series lead. Finally, in Utah, Game 4, Jazz and the Clippers. No Blake Griffin for the rest of the playoffs for the Clippers. Fourth quarter, the Jazz, Joe Johnson with the floater. Game is tied. Johnson again in the lane for 2. The Jazz win, and they tie the series at 2 games apiece. From the court to the field, the last race of the Junior Tri-VI season was held yesterday on the grounds of Cheney Bay. 41 junior athletes from ages 5 to 15 swam and ran various distances depending upon their age group. In addition, the final event featured a parent-child category where parent-child teams from each age group with the lowest combined times, well, they all won special prizes. It was fun to watch. This was the final race of the season, and I expect to see many of these participants cheering loudly at the last 70.3 St. Croix Ironman on Sunday, May 7th. That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that, Gary. Well, we leave you with Hollis Liverpool. We know him as the Mighty Chalk Does, family friend of ours from Trinidad, and no stranger to our Calypso tent with his timely and catchy lyrics of like recent events on St. Thomas, and he appeared at the Calypso tent on Saturday night. That's all for now. I'm Sandra Guman saying have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.
Once upon a time, he walked with his head high in his village and yard. But up came a gang of outsiders passing by.